To all of my friends who are watching their holiday plans and New Year's plans kind of come crashing down around them, first of all, my heart really goes out to you. It's been so tough, like not knowing what the future is going to bring, and the promise of things that make us feel so good, and being with people that we love, and having all of those renewing experiences, and then they just get stripped away from us again. And that can bring up a lot of feels. So I wanted to share with you a process that I share with my patients and that I use for myself. And it is about dealing with uncomfortable and difficult emotions. And it's 3 words. The first one is to feel. So to feel those emotions that are coming up for you. And it can be really helpful to label our emotions. Research has shown that that actually helps them to not feel so big, so overwhelming. If we can just kind of identify, what am I feeling right now? Is it disappointment? Is it anger? Is it frustration? Is it grief? Is it sadness? Is it whatever it might be? And of course, oftentimes there's a lot of emotions that are happening at once. So, even labeling any of them, labeling one of them, and you can do this multiple times, but to really allow yourself to feel what's happening. And I know that that is uncomfortable, and most of us actually skip to the 3rd stage that I'm going to talk about in a moment. But the feeling it is so important, because emotion is energy, and when we don't allow it to flow through us, it can get stuck in our body, and we are energy. And when we have emotions get stuck in our energetic body, that's when we get sick with all kinds of different ailments. So it's so important to allow ourselves to feel. And I know that it's not appropriate to feel at all times, like if we are in the middle of work, or if we are holding space for our kids, or doing something out in public. That's not the place that we really allow ourselves to feel, and that's okay. Put a pause on it and get to it when you get to your car, or when you go to the bathroom, or when you are off of work, whenever you can, as soon as you can. So feeling and identifying the emotions that you are feeling. That's the first part. The second part is to release. So after you feel those emotions, as much as you can allow yourself to do it, maybe it's 15 seconds, maybe it's 30 seconds, maybe it's 5 minutes. We all have different kind of capacities to be with the emotions that we're feeling, and wherever you are is totally fine. Just allowing yourself to feel it, even if it's for 3 seconds of just breathing in and out. After that, it's time to release. Let it go. And how do you do that, you may ask? Well, there are a few ways that I have found in my life and working with others that allows us to be able to release emotions. Certainly dance is a way to release emotions. Put on your favorite song. Put on a song that lets you feel the feelings that you have identified you are feeling, right? So if it's grief, put on a song that allows you to feel that grief. If it's frustration, put on a song that allows you to feel that frustration. And as you are feeling it, dance, move your body. There is not any particular way that you need to do this. There is no perfect grief dance or perfect frustration dance. However you feel called to move through that emotion, know that it is the right way. So dancing is a fantastic way, and music is so powerful in that it allows us to feel the feelings that we need to feel, as well as to shift into emotions that we want to feel. So that's the next step, but I'll get there in just a moment. So as you are shifting, as you are releasing, we're still in the release phase right now. Another way that you could do that is journaling. Journaling actually puts us into like a hypnotic state, and it allows us to kind of reprogram our unconscious, which is really cool. And it also helps us to feel better. So anybody who is a journaler and has experienced journaling your feelings, you may notice that you start off and maybe you're super frustrated and you just like can't even read what you're writing because you're so angry. But after you get all of that anger out, there's something that happens that begins to transition into actually a more clear and kind of like higher part of yourself that's able to look at the situation a little bit differently, and begins to almost like begin to comfort yourself. So it's like once we release what we're feeling through journaling, then we begin to talk to ourselves in a more kind and gentle way, and we can see possibilities that we weren't able to see before. Maybe you find that to be true, maybe not, but journaling is a great way to be able to release feelings. So dancing, movement, journaling, any creation of art. Maybe you make pottery, maybe you paint, maybe you sing, maybe you play an instrument. Feeling and releasing through art is so powerful and such a beautiful way to be able to do that. If you resonate with that, then definitely do that. Do that thing that allows you to release those feels that you feel. And a really simple way that you can do it is just by shaking your hands, shaking your shoulders, shaking your head, shaking your legs. Right? Shake it out. That really breaks up those emotions inside your body and allows them to flow out. Big thing to remember is to allow your hands to be open, right? Energy flows off of our hands. We want to allow them to be open. Maybe you start closed because you're feeling really angry and that's how you connect to that. But open up those fingers, open up those palms, allow it to flow out. And also to breathe. That's also a really important thing to remember while you're shaking and releasing. You can always talk to a friend too, but that is not, it kind of keeps us in that state of feeling and it doesn't always allow us to release it. But if you feel like you can release it that way, then by all means do that. Also, crying is another way that allows us to release emotions that can be really helpful too. So that's the release. After you release, think about shifting. Okay, this is the part that usually people start with because they're not comfortable feeling, they don't know how to release, so they go right into the shift. And they may do that by numbing the feelings that they don't want to feel and, hoping to be able to come into a state that feels more pleasurable or more pleasant. And that's really important, but it's also super important to feel and release before we shift, because otherwise we're just stuffing it down inside of our bodies, and that is not healthy for us. So as you shift, think about, how do you want to feel? Do you want to feel free? Do you want to feel expansive? Do you want to feel joyful? Do you want to feel connected? Do you want to feel peaceful? How is it that you want to feel? And then give yourself something that is going to connect you with that feeling. Only you know what the feeling that you want to feel is, and only you know how to get yourself there. And I absolutely trust and have total confidence in you that you can connect to that. Take a couple of deep breaths. In through your nose, out through your mouth, and ask yourself, how do I want to feel? And then ask yourself, what is the best way to get myself there right now in this moment? Music could be a great way to do that. That's super easy. You don't need to go anywhere. You don't need to do anything. Most of us have access to it on our phone. So it can be a great way to shift into a new state of being. And I hope that this has been helpful for you. I wish that I could change things and make things differently for you. But, that's not actually how we learn how to get through things like this. So hopefully these tips of being able to feel, to release, to shift, you can use the next time something disappointing happens or frustrating or sad, because that's what happens in life. And I love you so much. And I hope that you have a beautiful rest of the year and new year, and that we continue to stay in touch. So take care. See you next time.